Well, welcome back to a new UPbuild video. So you've probably been wondering where we've been over the past few months. But before we get into that, here's the episode we filmed a few months back. Well, welcome to a new UPbuild video.
Yeah, start of a new day. We're just going to hook up the trail now and seek the old Mk1 shell.
Yep, we've got a couple of jobs to finish off with that one, so let's crack on and get it. There we go, we're loaded up. So we've got a few little bits and bobs to take off it. We're going to use on the Mk1 conversion. Oh, there's a few of you mentioned the rear bulkhead, the rotisserie hole in the back. We'll have a look at that when we get back up.
Well, we've had another opportunity to use my new trailer. Get my shell back down here again.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a look at the rear panel, where the seat fits in, the rear seat, the panel in the back.
Yes, it's where the rotisserie jig was put in when they made these shells on the production line. So we're going to take that. That's the one difference. That's the one difference on the Mk1 and Mk2 shells. So a few people have mentioned this, but we're going to change that where the hole in the back rear bulkhead.
That's it, yeah.
So we need to cut that out. So we're just going to size that up in against our Mk1 conversion shell, which hasn't got it in. I'll flick a picture in here so you can see it, but as you can see, it hasn't got that panel in on the Mk1 conversion shell, which is it's a Mk4 shell we're converting. So we'll work out how we're going to be able to cut that panel out of this one. So obviously it's pretty rotten in the bottom, so we probably won't be able to use that section on the bottom. So we could just obviously this is what we're going to do. We've got the two shells together now, so we'll work out the best way of doing it. So it's working out the best way, just cutting that section out, welding it in. But
yeah, it's fairly rotten down here.
It's not much left of it down there.
Not much left of it down there. It's right away along, like the same.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway.
But never mind. We can measure up and just see what we've got.
Yeah.
See what we need.
Work out the best way of doing it. That's great. Anyway, I think that's about it. Yeah, so that's obviously been handy. Be able to bring the car down on the trailer again. Just makes it easier moving things around. There we go. Anyway, enough chatting. Let's crack on and get that done. That's one Mk1 stroke Mk2 rear seat rotisserie hole cut out. There we go. do is we'll go and set that in the back of the Mk1 conversion shell, scribe down both sides. I've trimmed this bottom off. I'm just going to make a neat cut along the bottom somewhere where it's less rotten. Same on the car. And line that up, and then there we go. And fantastic. That'll be alright, Dad.
Very good.
That's great.
Spot on side. There's the eggs doing.
Line this up on here now, rough. You can see when I lie it on, I can't lie it flush. I can't lie it flush, which I want to do so I can get a nice clean line round the outside with the scriber to be able to cut the panel out the Mini here. So I'm just going to, obviously that bit there is holding it back in the clip, so I just want to make a line, make a rough line around where I can cut that panel out the centre. Just so I don't cut too far, and then what I'll do is we'll be able to, yeah, and then what we'll do is we'll be able to put a line in here where I can cut it out from. I'll be just behind that from the clips. There we go. Right, now I know I'll just keep the other side of that line, obviously, because I know I'm staying well within where I'm cutting the panel out from, just so that I can allow that panel to sit back flush then. It still won't sit flush, will it? I just realised. Right, okay, so what we'll do is I'll set that on like that, and I'll make a mark. So I know roughly I need to be where I'm at there. I know that I've cut the panel out just this side of that ridge, so I can roughly get them in the right place. Top, happy at the top, happy at the bottom. Right, I'll just make a couple of rough lines. Now then, so if I stay inside that line I've made there by about 10 or 15 mil, I know that panel, if I take that section out, I know that panel will sit flush on there, and then I can mark around this panel once I get it flush and get a nice scribe line around it, come back in and make a nice neat cut. So that line I've got there, I'm going to stay just this side of that line, just to get this out the way, if that makes sense. It's so I can get this panel to sit on there nice and flush, that's the thing, and then I can get a nice tight scribe line around that, so I get a nice tight fit. I think I'm making sense. Anyway, there we go. That's what I'm about to do.
the big magnet.
Spot on. Right then. Another little handy tip I forgot to mention there was when I went round it to mark it that time to get a nice accurate mark, I used my little scriber. It's just a lot of people might already know this, but obviously using the scriber, it's such a fine point. I can get a really nice fine line, sharp line right on the edge of the metal that I'm scraping, whereas with the pen you end up with too fat a line. Some of it'll sort of seep past anyway. You get a bit of the marker will seep past the line where you want, so it's hard to then get it cut exactly where you want it cut. Whereas with the scriber, you can see there's a really sharp line there where I've scribed it round the other panel rather than using a pen. Obviously the pen stands out more, but like I say, too thick a mark really if you want a nice accurate cut. Anyway, I'm going to cut that out now. Stop chatting. Right then, so that's it all sorted and ready to go. So I thought just before we put the two panels in, we'll probably just have a little comparison. So obviously that's the one I'm putting in. It's just nice to see the two together, just compare the two. So the hole in the middle in this one, on the Mark 1 and Mark 2 shell, obviously Mark 2 shell, this has come out of, but it was for when they were originally made. Obviously a lot of people already mentioned this in the comments from the video that when they were made on the rotisserie, on the production line, they were actually on a rotisserie, I believe. So there was a pole went right to the middle of the shell, and so there was a hole in the rear seat back and in the front, obviously on the dashboard there where the pole came straight through, which held them in the production line. And there's a few bits on the car which were for when the Minis were made on the production line. But I just thought it was two panels together like that, just to sort of compare the two. It's quite interesting. Just to see the two together. So you can see obviously in the Mark 1 there's a few ridges in the bottom of that one as well, and obviously the recess for where there's actually a cover panel goes on there. You can see the screws are actually held in, so there's a cover panel goes on top of that, which we'll get. I think we might have to make it maybe, so I don't know. Hopefully, if anyone's got one, let us know. That'd be great to put on there. But yeah, that's them both together anyway. So what we'll do is we'll get them welded in now. I'll get that one welded in anyway. Brilliant. Right, might even stop and have a beer. We'll get that welded in. Well, fantastic. That's another big part of the puzzle finished. that back little hole in the rear seat. Seat there. We've mentioned that a few times. That's excellent. They're getting that done. But
the jigsaw's roughly come together.
It is. The puzzle's going together. Fantastic. Right then. Where have we been? Well, that brings you up to date where we're up to on the Mini. Anyway, now it kind of gives you a rough idea what we're kind of where we're up to. I know there's still a bit more to come, like, isn't there? Obviously on that.
There's quite a bit to come on that, so we'll keep dropping back to that though.
Yeah. Got like all like, obviously we're not going through, but obviously we've got all like paint. We're up to the painting side now, so that's kind of where we're up to.
Like a spray booth to put up and sandblasting, and then get on the paintwork onto it.
Quite a bit to get through. But anyway, so
we'll come back to that.
Where have we been? Where have we been all these months? I know we've had plenty of people asking what's been going on.
I've had a hard 2 months.
Just a bit.
Bit of a hard 2 months. I've been laid back for a while.
You knew it was coming up. We had an operation to go in for.
Yeah, I had operations to have.
We knew it was coming up. Yeah. But it kind of came up kind of suddenly, but lasted a lot longer than you expected.
It ended a bit longer than we thought, because the wife had to have operations as well. She had 2 operations, 2 hips, two new hips, did she? So.
Right. And you were out of action for a bit
and
longer.
And I've been in hospital and. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Yeah. That's what was going on. And I suppose plus of that, I mean, I know sometimes do have a few breaks every now and then when we're making the videos. They're not always particularly consistent, but not as long as this normally. They have breaks because this isn't actually my job. I work full time, so we just get a couple of days a week. At the most, maybe a day a week for to work on it. But so yeah, this break was a bit longer because of that, because I was in hospital having to get myself sorted, and then and so we'd kind of want to do the job on the Mini together, like do the project together, and as you see, it's been filmed. We're always doing it together. So, but
we've been a bit other things as well.
Yeah, we've kind of been planning something for quite a while, like a new series which we're going to put out on YouTube as a series of videos. We started. I think it's over a year ago we started actually filming this. So
about a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, probably over a year ago, I think.
Yeah.
But the idea is for that little series, don't forget, don't worry, we're not going to forget about the Mini. We'll drop back onto that. We'll keep you updated on it, like where we're at with it. We'll not. We don't want to.
Don't want to leave that.
No, not leave it around.
It's not going to be stuck on the shelf. That one. It's going to be getting done.
Yeah, exactly. And it's getting to a point now where it's going to be probably go together quite quickly, really, I suppose. Anyway, like I said, new series which we're starting, which I'm going to start next weekend with this. It's called UPbuild Revivals, and what the idea of this new series is, I know we've probably mentioned that there is something going on. We have actually, we're in the lineup of cars that we've actually started and some already done. We're going to basically show you buying the car, the process of buying it, how much we spend on the car fixing it. We'll walk you around it, show you what's wrong with it, and then kind of show you what needs fixed, and show you all the little tips and tricks of how to fix things.
Yeah, give you an idea how to go about it.
Yeah.
To buy a car and.
I mean, not necessarily how to buy, but how to fix it more than anything.
How to fix it up. How to fix it up. How to get it back on the road again from being nearly a scrapper.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So a lot of these cars that we're going to do are going to be cars that probably would have been. We're just going to give them a new lease of life, put them back on the road, and but do it with interesting, something that's interesting cars.
Do cars that we would like to do ourselves. We're going to try and get some unusual cars, you know.
Yeah.
But I like my Jags. I'm going to get an XKR. XKR, that's one of the ones.
We'll have that in the lineup at some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
But we've got other Jags as well.
Yeah, that we like as well. Yeah. But so the idea with this is just going to be they're going to be quick, snappy series. So, like I say, we've already started this. So from next week, I'm going to start with the first car. We had to start somewhere. So the first car's maybe not exactly what we'd choose, but it gets us started, and it kind of shows a few good ways of. It's quite an interesting series actually. The first one, there's a lot of little tips and tricks on how to fix things and save the car without spending a ton of money.
Without spending too much on them, without spending a fortune on them, we can kind of fabricate things, fabricate a lot of stuff.
Make things ourselves, ways of fixing things. The idea is, like I was saying, short little snappy series. So in each series, there'll hopefully only be maybe 3 or 4 videos on each series, depending on how much you like the series. But that's sort of our idea with that. We've been wanting to do it for ages. We've kind of been wanting to get on with that.
Yeah, we've been wanting to do it for a long time.
But like I say, we'll start. So next weekend. So don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And from next weekend, we're going to start with that series. So it'll be from 6:30. I think our video will be out next Saturday.
6:30 on a Friday, on a Saturday night.
Next Saturday night, 6:30. It'll start then.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we just want to quickly update you where we've been and what's been happening and what's been going on. But I think we've done that. Well, thank you very much for all the comments. We've had quite a few.
We've had quite a few good comments.
And where we've been,
fantastic the comments.
asking where we've been and what have you, and that's people been saying, "Where's Dad? What's been happening?"
That's it. Kind of keep you in the picture. We haven't forgot you altogether.
No.
We're gonna get picked up again now. Get back into it again.
Definitely. Yeah.
And
anyway, that's enough. Enough from
enough
us.
for that. So we're going to have a coffee now.
Smash that thumbs up button. Smash it.
Thumb up.
Thumbs up button. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Bye.